How do you focus? Hi, I'm Brian Pombo. Welcome back to Brian J. Pombo Live. Coming to you live from Grants Pass, Oregon. Today, let's talk a little bit about focus and how you personally focus on things. There's two great sins to focusing. The first sin is in not focusing enough, being too broad-minded. Oftentimes those of us who are guilty of this the most, we're too big pictured. We're always looking at the big picture of things and have a tough time seeing the details. And then the second sin would be in over-focusing, in getting so detailed that the old line, you miss the forest through the trees. So you over-focus, you get accused of being overly detailed. You may have little habits that are a little bit OCD, a little obsessive compulsive, and that comes from being too detailed, too focused. So which is better? They're both bad. They're the two extremes, and they're two things that you're probably guilty of one or the other on a regular basis. Now, how do we go about solving that? I'll get to that in a second. First, I want to remind you about dreambizchat.com. If you haven't been to dreambizchat.com, go there. Link is in the description, dreambizchat.com, specifically for business owners and executives in the self-reliance field. But I'd love for you to go there and go check it out. There's a video there. You don't have to add in your email address or anything of that sort. Just go watch the video. If you think it applies to you, fill out the application for your very own dream business transformation chat. dreambizchat.com. Now, focus is the secret to focus more or focus less. Well, it depends on which sin you're guilty of the most. If you get too detail oriented, realize that that's probably where your conation lands. So we've talked about conation before. It's talked a lot about by Kathy Colby, and she discusses the four major areas of conation. These are the concepts of where you work the most. And if you are very detail oriented, chances are that's just the way your brain was built. Don't try and think the opposite, but be open to the fact that the opposite exists, that you may need help. You may need partners. You may need other people that can see more of the big picture. But you bring value to the table, because then you can help somebody that is guilty of seeing too big. So I'm one of those people. I tend to look at the big picture of things and tend to miss the details. So I need somebody on my team. So the podcast producer, Sean, helps me out to focus down into the details and to keep focus on the details, on the goals at hand, and not get thrown off by this and that and go after bright, shiny objects. If you're someone that's detail oriented, you need to find others that aren't and help to rein them in a little. Be patient with them, but at the same time, point out the details that they may be missing. Now, if you are more broad-minded, you're going to need people like that on your team. You're going to need people around you, and you have to be open to being able to have yourself focused in on things on occasion. It doesn't mean you should stop viewing the big picture. You got to see the big picture, but you got to see the details that need to go into play to make that big picture come about in your life. Don't think that what you're seeing is the only angle on the truth. Whether you're seeing the details, the micro, or whether you're seeing the macro, you're only seeing part of the picture. You're going to need other people to help out to see the rest of the picture. Don't ever forget that. It's essential to being able to grow as a person and to be able to grow your business faster. Just a quick little concept, very simple, straightforward. We're going to talk more about tomorrow. Go and check out some of the other videos we have over at brianjpombo.com/media. You can go to brianjpombo.com and click on the media button. You'll get to see the other videos we have available, as well as other podcasts and so forth that we will be putting out that we have been putting out and will continue to be putting out. So, love to hear from you. Leave a comment down below if you found this helpful. Have a great night. Get out there and let the magic happen.